welcome back to the channel. My name is Deborah, aka the Sunset Girl Creates, and today we're going to be making the coffin wreath by Jamie Lane Designs. So let me just get back to my settings. I'm on her website that kind of gives direction on just kind of how to lay it out. And so I'm on her website, Jamie Lane Designs, and I looked up coffin wreath. And so what we're going to be doing is, this is our wreath. Okay, so I took another color and put behind it to make it a little thicker so that we can hang it on our wall. And so I did that because it took a minute. It had to be clipped and especially glued down so that it would stay nice and firm. And so now our next step is to put our skeleton on. And just want to make sure. And so what I'm going to do, because this is on top of another piece exactly the same as this one, I'm going to put a couple clips in the bottom of it. And I'll show you in a second. Put a little clips down here on the bottom just to hold that piece in place while we're gluing the top, right? That way we don't lose our place in it. We can literally lift this half up, glue it down, and then we'll be able to lift the second half up and glue it down. All I'm using are my sewing clips that I got from Amazon. They come in this cute little tin. And they're just little tiny paper clips, basically. Clothespins, almost. And all they do is clip. They're used for fabric, but they work great on... I use them in my knitting sometimes. I use them in my cross stitch, my crochet. A lot of my silhouette work. I find that they're handy craft-wise, not just for like a sewing kit or a sewing set. They really are really nice. I'm putting a nice good coat underneath here around the edge. As I said before, I'm going to put just a little bit here. As I said before, I'm using the nail glue. It dries fast, it dries quick, and it seems to hold very well. And I got 20 containers of it for $10. So I've been really searching for a long time for a glue that I can really depend on when I do my crafting on the silhouette, because a lot of times what I find is that the glues don't dry fast enough, and then I end up with a whole bunch of glue, and it takes me forever to get these put together. So especially being on camera, I really wanted to make sure that I had a good glue that would secure fastly, so that we can keep working on it. So this is all secure. It is going to dry very quickly. But it's all on and secure. So we've got that part done. Okay. So we adhered the bases together. We layered the skull pieces. Ink around edges if desired, and then place in here. Okay. So when I cut this out, I cut it out with paper that doesn't have a core, a white core. So I didn't have to mark up on the sides because there's no white core within this paper, which makes it nice. This one, as you can see, kind of has a white core in it, so that's the difference. So I don't need to ink up those. And then cut enough to build 4 coffins in total. Fold the score lines and add adhesive to the tabs. So we're basically going to do what we did yesterday when we put our coffin together, and we're going to pull up our pieces that have the tabs I like to pull the tab pieces up so I can see my tabs. I know where my tab pieces are. They're very clear. So I know that the first thing I'm going to do is glue here and pull together and adhere, right? So like we did the same we did yesterday on the coffins, we're just going to build us 4 new coffins. So let's get some glue on here and attach. Glue on here and attach. And I'm just trying to get it lined up so it's as nice and neat as possible. Glue on here and attach. You want to be pretty sure when you set it that you have it lined up before you actually fully adhere the glue, or you may get a little lip over like that. It's not going to affect it, I don't think. If it does, we can take it off and re-glue it if we need to. Let's get this tab inside, and there we go. We got another one lined up, right? Okay. And this glue really is working great in the fact that I can put it on, I can attach it, and I don't have to hold on to it for 30-40 seconds hoping that by the time I let go it's fully glued, right? I don't have to worry about that with this nail glue, because this nail glue attaches and pretty much holds pretty quickly. And I've been looking for a glue that would hold quickly and pull together like this does. So I mean, it dries clear, it dries fast. It's better than any craft glue that I've ever seen out there and used, because I've used multiple glues, because I've done this for many times. I also use my double-sided tape gun. So we have 4 of these to go. So as I'm talking, I'm just going to continue talking as we're building, because I'm going to do the same thing I just did there 3 more times, okay? If it took a long time on camera to do these, I would shut off and come back once they're all put together. However, they seem to be going together pretty quickly. So we're going to get them secured up here. Once we get this part done, we have a lot of gluing together we have to do this time. So we still have to glue. These lids are made so you can put candy in them. That's why the coffins are open like this. You can put candy in them when you're done. So if you want to have little bits of candy within your wreath, you can do that. Kind of give it a little fun flair and design, right? To be able to do something like that. I find it a lot nicer, a lot easier, and a lot faster to be using this glue. I'll be interested to see how long the glue lasts on the paper. That's really going to be the next important thing, is if the glue lasts. So we won't know until the holiday's over, but by the time we get ready to start our Thanksgiving, I will have a really good idea of how long this glue will stand up. As long as it stands up through Halloween, I'm fine. And the reason I say that is because I don't keep these and put them away. I have a small house, so I get the fun of doing my decorations brand new every year, right? So I never have the same decorations. I have 200 and I think 34 files of just Halloween, and I think I have similar for Christmas. Those are silhouette files. Those are not just silhouette files that I've built, that I've bought, but it's also ones that I've created myself. I do have some of my own files. I do have commercial files, and I have various files. So a lot of mine have a commercial license attached. Not all of them. At the beginning, I wasn't putting commercial licenses on things. I wasn't aware that that was an important thing to do. So there are some things that don't have commercial licenses, so I'm very careful when I do anything commercial-wise. So if I'm making something I'm going to sell, I make sure that I have the correct information that I need to do it. So we're almost done here. This kind of allows me, while we're doing this, to kind of give you little hints and tricks on some silhouette stuff. If you store your silhouette for any period of time, you want to make sure that you realign your cutting wheel. So the strip that cuts, it's a big box in the Silhouette. It's really a good idea to really take that, and you know, all you have to do is move it to one side, back, move it back, and then turn it on. Always make sure you do that when it's off, so that you don't really ruin your silhouette. It's very important that you're careful. So I am on the last coffin, so we'll get this done quickly. Let me just push this one through. Always, if something's not working, before you start messing with it, always go to the website, to the FAQs from Silhouette. And a lot of times there's a FAQ that will help you fix it in a lot of the issues. Then all you have to worry about is, all you have to worry about after you do the FAQs is actually going through and doing this step by step. If there for some reason is not an FAQ, or what you've gotten is not working to fix the issue, you can send Silhouette an email, but note that you're not going to hear back from them for probably a good 48 hours. So don't expect a quick turnaround. So try to find as much information out that you can do for yourself before you contact them. That's at least how I feel about it. I really feel it's important to make sure that I've done everything I know how to do, and that I've researched before I reach out to Silhouette, because I know that I'm going to have to wait a good 2 days to hear back from them. And then most likely they're going to have questions because I didn't give enough information, or they're missing one thing that will help me figure out the issue. So there's usually questions back and forth. But once you get talking to them, it's pretty simple. So now we have our coffins done, right? We've created our coffins. Repeat the second piece of the coffin so you have a lid and base. Am I missing something here? I'm thinking I didn't cut enough pieces out and that something's missing. Yeah, okay. I think what it is now these go on top of each other. I don't see that. They're all the exact same size. They don't fit inside each other. Okay, let me pause and I'll be right back. Okay, so while I had the camera off, I went ahead and cut the tops to the coffins and put them together. So now we have our tops, and all we need to do is put the bottoms in, and I probably should have done this before. I'm going to switch it around maybe. They're both the same size, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get them to go together. Okay, I'll figure out how to get them together in a minute. What we're going to do next is these go on the top of the coffin, so they fit like this. But I want to get some dimension to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I have these 3D foam squares that I got from Hobby Lobby. They come with a set of large ones and a set of small ones. I use them a lot when I put things on. So like this one, and I'm going to do the same with the bones. But this one, I'm going to put one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here, and I'm okay if I use a couple extra. I like it to have a nice height to it. So see, now we're going to take the other part off and it'll just stick right there and it'll have a nice height to it. See? So that's what I'm trying to do. Let me grab my tweezers to pull these covers off. It's just a thin layer holding to the sticky, so you just have to carefully get it off. It's really simple to get off. I use my tweezers just because I have the long nails. It's much easier to do it with a pair of tweezers than it is. And now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I've got this lined up, because there's just a little bit of the gray showing through. So there. And that's how we do it. So let's go ahead and get the rest of these done. We'll quickly add our squares. So see, I mean, these are some fun, easy ways of having a little fun while you're creating your own decorations, right? So these are your decorations. Just because they say to put this on solid doesn't mean I have to put it on solidly, right? I have the option, because now once I've cut it out, I can go over the general directions that they have. But then ultimately, I'm going to do what I want to do to make it look the way I want it to look. And so that's the benefit. Once you get the file cut out, you have the file pieces, which are the hardest to create, is making all the file pieces. But they're fun at the same time, but you have to be able to have a design eye in order to put your pieces down, right? And then once you do that, you have to figure out which ones might need to have dotted lines so that you can be able to fold them and put them together. So like all these coffins, I had to have a serrated line or a dotted line on it so it would keep it separate, right? And I could bend it without having to try to force the paper. So it's things like that. It's little things as you're designing that you have to bring into consideration. If you're making it so it folds and has to be put together, you have to remember to put the proper amount of tabs on there. And it really depends on how you want to lay the tabs out. There's no specific way you have to lay tabs out. I like to design my own t-shirts. I do a lot of t-shirt designs. And I just love the ability to have the freedom to make my own decorations for my house. Nobody tells me. I don't go to a store. The store doesn't have all kinds of decorations for me to choose from, and I just get what they have. For me, that's not okay. I don't want somebody creating something for me. I'm a crafter, so I want to be able to create my own. I do a lot of shopping at the dollar store when I need things. Like cups and different things, baskets that I might want to try things on. I have baskets that I put my monogram on. So there's lots of things that I've done. I have vinyl sayings on my walls. to remind me to stay positive, and just some fun ones too. I mean, Sunset Girl Creates is on the wall. I have crafting your heart out makes room for your soul to grow. I really like that one. True friends don't care if your house is dirty. They care if you have wine. Do you have wine? Now, not everybody drinks. I don't drink much now anymore, but I still like that. I also like I'm so crafty. I sweat glitter, right? That's one of my favorite sayings. Okay, I am going to figure out how to get these bases on after, because they don't really slip in, so I'm not sure how she expects that to happen. But let me play with it after. I'll put those on. We will put the bases on, and then we can just kind of take a look at what it's going to look like with the top on. Oh, I got one on. Look at that. Oh, cool. Okay, so there's one on. You just have to be really careful and hope nothing needs like a little. I probably should have figured out which ones go. Okay, this one probably can come in here, and we can put it. Oh, come on, I almost got it, guys. This one goes in, then we at least have two. And you have to be careful that you don't put them under where you've glued before either, because you don't want them to accidentally rip your glue out. Okay, so I got two on. Let me see if I can get the other two, now that I kind of figured out what I have to do. We want to make one, we have to bend just a little bit to get under there, but I found it works, and it gets them on there. I probably won't put candy in them because they don't come apart too easily. So I don't want to have candy in them for me to try to get out and then have to try to put these back together. It's just not something that I want to plan on doing. So, well, that one kind of went in funky. I'm going to have to fix it. Okay, let me see. Oh, that just ripped it. Okay, there we go. Okay, I will put a little bit of tape on that soon, and it'll fix it. Okay, so now we have our coffins done. Now the next thing we need to do is we have 4 crossed bones. Okay, so we have our 4 crossed bones. And on these cross bones, we are going to choose a side, and we need to put these little squares, and I'm going to use my tweezers because it's hard to see, and I can just lay it down with my tweezers like that. So I'm going to put one in the middle, right, and one on each side of the end of the bone, because we're only doing it for one side, one crossbone. We're going to do it the same direction on all of them. That's why I've got them lined up. And we will move them as we need to so that they stay in place. And there we go. And now we can just take and lay our bone across. And we've got one skull, we've got one crossbones done. See? And then it looks like it's layered out. And that's how they say to do it. In the directions as well, is to use foam pads with these sticky craft pads that are foam, because then you get height out of it. I have a bunch of glitter too, that on some of them we may add glitter. I want to add some glitter to my carousel, so we will do some glitter work on that. The carousel is probably going to be done in a couple of sessions, because they'll be done in a couple of sessions, because there's a lot to do on the carousel, and there's a lot of spots that we actually have to clip and hold into place. So I'll be showing you some probably some snippets of it. I won't actually do a lot of it on camera. I'll do it on camera, but I'll do it in little, I'll have to put a whole video together because I'm going to have to do it in pieces, or else that video will be quite long. They are awesome when they're done. It's a skeleton carousel house. And they're awesome and beautiful when they're done. I've done a couple of them. And they're just gorgeous. I've done the Christmas ones. This is the first try on the Halloween ones, so you'll be with me experimenting on our first time doing the Halloween carousel. But, you know, once you've done one of the carousels, it's the same artist that does the carousels. And she has a variety of holiday ones. I have two of the Halloween ones. I have a skeleton and I have the witch. I'm not sure which Christmas ones I have. And that, you know, it's just what did I find, what did I like at the time when I was going through it. A lot of the things that I have bought are really kind of classic kind of designs to me that I know that I'll use over and over again. This is the first time I've actually done the coffin. So let me put my password into the computer super quick. I just want to check the layout first before it comes. Okay, so we've got all that done, and so the next thing we do is we're going to lay out our coffins. So they're going to lay this way, and we're going to have a skull and crossbones between each one, and they're all going to go in the same direction. So they're going to sit there, and that's going to sit there. Then we're going to put another one on, and then we're going to have a skull and crossbones, and then we'll have another one come on, and a skull and crossbones, and we'll put the last one on, and skull and crossbones. It's not really skull and crossbones, it's just crossbones. So this is where we're going to lay them out. I'm going to tape the bottom. I'm going to use my tape runner on the bottom. That's what I use to put this together. It gives you a little time when you're doing it. I want to just kind of see. So I want to take a couple strips down the middle. So this is my tape gun. It's a Scotch Advanced Tape Glider, and I have double-sided tape on here, and I just run it down a couple times through the middle and get, well, there we go. I can get up here. Okay, so now all I'm going to be able to do, now I can just lay it down on here. And the nice thing about the double-sided tape is if you get it in the wrong place, you want to put it somewhere else. Until you get it secured, you're going to be able to hold it. I'm going to actually put some pressure from the bottom just to make that sure that tape has a place to secure. I am going to take and use some of my small dots on the bones, and I'm going to do the same that I did before. However, I'm going to put it on the bottom one, so it kind of raises the bottom one up a little bit as well. So we got 1, 2, and how are these going on? I'll probably do it so you've got 1, 2, and that should be good. 1, 2, and then they stick out. Or do we want to do it? And this is the fun part. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to leave it so that they're out on the top. Okay, and so I'm going to take these two off. And I really like to put different things in different mediums depending on what's going to work best for what project or what part of the project I'm working on, right? So using the super glue to put the coffins together allowed us to put the main big bulky part together. I'm using our dots to put down our skull and crossbones onto the wreath. So then all we have to do is basically repeat those same things we just completed. So we'll put some tape on the bottom of our coffin. I want to make sure there's plenty of room there. And then I'm going to put my coffin down. As we did before, I'm going to go to the bottom, just put a little pressure on it to make sure that it sticks. We'll pull our tabs. We'll put 2 on our our crossbones. The skull's there. These are the crossbones that go with it. And oops, that came off. I didn't get the tab. You just got to be careful, because if you do pick up anything other than the top, it will pull your tab back off. So just be careful. Watch what you're doing. Pay attention, and you'll be just fine. So there, we got that one on. Let's tape this one, and we shall be, oops, that one didn't stay on. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. It didn't. What you have to do is you have to make sure that the very top catches on it before you start rolling. That way you're ensuring that your tape is going to roll. If not, it comes off in big wads. So I had to remove that one. We're going to kind of pressure on the bottom a little bit. Let's get our crossbones ready. And the nice thing, see, there's a little double-sided tape, and I can just run my fingernail right through there, and that's going to either go under it or it's going to come off. Okay, so it's something that is easy to fix, easy to remove, right? So that's really what we want. We want something that's going to remove quickly if it comes over. So the double-sided tape is really good for that when you're securing things down. I use a lot of double-sided tape, so you'll see me use a lot of this double-sided tape gun, as well as my foam attachments, foam pads, adhesive foam pads. I like to do the same. I want to make sure that it is right about there. And let's drop it. One more. And we don't have to, oh yeah, we got one more skull, or one more crossbones to do after this as well. And then we'll have this all done. And we will be done with this project. Look, see, so these projects, once you get them cut out, really don't take an immense amount of time, right? I'm hoping I got enough room here. I may have to adjust this one. So see, this is double-sided tape. It's still sticky, and so I can move things around a little bit until I have it the way I want it. And so that's why I just want to give myself a little bit more room for this crossbones, and I'll just put pressure on it. And let's get the last one on here. We want that corner, and oops, that one went flying. I might be able to pick it up and put it on here. Got it. Okay. So now we're going to take this off. And I am going to take this one off, and we're done there. And we'll put our last crossbones in here. There we go. And there, now we have our wreath done. And what I'll do is I'll punch a hole up here on top, and I'll put a piece of ribbon in it. I have some Halloween ribbon. I'll probably remove this and kind of put the ribbon here so it comes out up behind, so it looks a little cleaner and nicer. But we do have our coffin and crossbones done from the Jane Lane Designs, and it's called the coffin wreath. And okay, there, that was sitting on top of one of my bones, so I just adjusted it, and there we go, it's all done. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for joining me today to go over our coffin wreath that I'll be putting on my door. We have completed our spider coffin, so that we have the spider coffin here. So now we have two kind of coffinish kind of things. And tomorrow our project will be, I'm just trying to get to the bags. I have a few things over here on the side, which is turning into a great big mess. I'm thinking I have two more that I want to do in the next couple days. First the witch's hat, and then I have the graveyard. So and then I have one more coffin that will go with the graveyard. It's not going, these coffins are not going to go actually into the graveyard. They're going to be next to the graveyard, so I'll have them open up like this. I might cut some skeletons and see if I can get them small enough and put some skeletons in there, maybe with a little bit of go get some of that shredded paper and put a little bit of shredded paper in there to put them, to give it a little bit of height, right? So it gives it height so it's not laying flat. So with all that said, if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be great. If you don't, a thumbs down is fine. But please let us know why you don't like it. Is there something I'm doing I can do to improve, to make your experience better? I would love to hear that in the comments. So if you have comments at all, if you want to let me know how I'm doing, or I'd really love to hear from everybody. So thank you to all our subscribers. If you want to subscribe and be part of the Sunset Girl Create family, you can just click that little button down below, and it says subscribe. And once you hit that, you're subscribed to the channel. You'll be a subscriber. And then if you want to know when I upload my videos, you can hit that bell icon next to it, and you will know when my videos have been uploaded. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for your time and your patience, and I had a lot of fun doing this project. I know that we're going to have fun with the rest of our projects. So with that said, I want to thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.